Hey guys, it's Anna Sky and I'm back with another envelope hack, and this time I'm transforming these little RSVP envelopes into fabulous pocket folders for your invitations. You got a little pouch over here for all your goodies, and you got your invitation mounted over here, and it all folds up into a neat little package. These are expensive to buy, these little custom folders for invitations, but I'm going to show you how to take a very inexpensive piece of cardstock and our little envelope and turn it into this. Keep watching. For this project, you're going to need double-sided tape, a ruler, a bone folder. This helps you make sharp creases. You're going to need a 5x7 invitation card. This is our printable from the Amber collection, available at Download and Print. It has the invitation, matching enclosure card, RSVP, and I've paired it with this really great teal 4-bar envelope. You can get these at Download and Print. There's a link in the description. You're going to need an edge punch. This is an optional pizzazz, just to dress up the pocket fold. 4-bar envelopes. These are typically used for your RSVP cards to be mailed back, and 12x12 cardstock. And I'm using black in this example. You could use any color you want. I would advise buying your 4-bar envelopes first, then going to the craft store and matching it to coordinated cardstock. So to get started, we're going to trim off our flap of our envelope, and I'm just going to take it over to the paper cutter at about 3 1/4 and trim, and this essentially makes our little pocket that we're going to mount. Then I'm going to use my edge punch. This is optional, and I'm just going to put a lace edge on to the opening of that pocket. And these are border punches, come in all different shapes and sizes. So if you're doing a beach wedding, you could do a different edge design. And you just slide the design down to where it's printed and it lines up perfectly. And on this, this punch that I'm using, it takes 3 punches to get that edge on there. So now we have this decorative sort of doily edge. It's a very popular kind of vintage look right now. And then I'm going to take my cardstock and we're going to cut it down into a strip, and this is going to make our folder. And when I mount my invitation on here, I want a little bit of a border all the way around. So this is 7 inches across. So I'm going to cut this at 7 and let's do 7 1/2. And the reason I mention that is you could be doing this for a square invitation, and so you may want to cut it square. So this example will work for more than 5x7 invitations. So now with that trimmed down, I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my envelope that we cut and punched, and I'm going to mount it in this bottom corner of the cardstock I just trimmed. And I'm going to do that with double-sided tape. Now you could use roll-on adhesive, you could use glue stick. It really doesn't matter. I like working with double-sided tape because it's instant gratification. You don't need to wait for it to dry or anything. So then I'm going to just line up both edges and then place my pocket onto the cardstock that I trimmed. And now I'm going to make my folder. And with that envelope in place, that serves as my fold line. So I'm just going to take my bone folder using the sharp edge. I'm just going to come in and start to crease this here. Then fold the cardstock over top and crease the rest of the way. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and press. So you can see it start coming together. Now, it can be tricky to fully center this. So I actually like to mount the invitation before I make that last crease. You can do it in whatever order you want, and I'm just going to move my paper trimmer out of the way here so I have some more room to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the same double-sided tape and put the invitation. I think 4 pieces of tape is plenty. It's not really heavy. You don't need a lot to hold these on. So now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to try to even the top and the bottoms and the sides. Get it straight. Like so. And press. Now I'm going to make, we have our folder like this. Now I'm going to make my flap that comes across. And I'm going to do that with my ruler. And I'm just going to come up and I'm going to try to make it even with that side. And then I'm going to make my crease. Like so. So now I have the crease in there. And I'm just going to fold it over. Press it good with the bone folder. And now this comes in like this. And you have a pocket fold. And I'm going to just take my enclosure card. And I love how once I put the cards in there, you see all the detail of that edge punch. And I have my RSVP card, and that tucks in there like so. Now I'm going to finish it off by doing another border punch on this outside edge, just to give it that last little vintage feel. And then we'll be all done. So I'm just going to come over here. See, too much on my workspace. Bring in for the doily punch, like so. Slide the pattern down. And you could do these in any color, and it's quite a bit of savings when you compare. I think the RSVP envelopes are about 10 cents a piece, and then the cardstock, depending on the packs that you buy it in, can be about say like $1/4 a sheet. So it's quite a bit cheaper than if you were to buy pre-done pockets. Plus you can add this custom feel with the edge punch of your choice. So there you have it. There's that beautiful little doily edge. You have a pocket hacked from an envelope and cardstock. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and for more videos like this, please subscribe to our newsletter. This is Anna Skye from Download and Print.